Hey there, this is Rick with the Mercedes Diesel Guy channel, and this is my 1984 barn find Volkswagen Vanagon, I'm assuming base model. So I've actually had it home for a few days now. I first saw it online about a week ago, went to look at it in person on Friday, made an offer, paid for it, and did the paperwork Saturday morning. Monday afternoon I had a tow truck pick it up and bring it here about 8 miles. So now it is Wednesday, and as you've seen in my last video, it is filthy. There is crud and grime caked and baked onto here. Been on here for years. I mean, this is just, it is cemented on. I mean, even dragging my fingernail over it, it's hard to scratch it off. So I'm gonna make an attempt at cleaning the exterior. Just a really rough cleaning. This is not a detailing by any means. I think I'm gonna spray it top to bottom with degreaser first. Just let that soak in, and then I'm gonna hit it with my pressure washer. Mercifully, the interior is really not that bad. And I think that some of that has to do with the fact that those rear windows were punched out, and the interior, I suspect, has been exposed to the elements for years. So thankfully it doesn't smell in there, and it's a little bit dirty, but really not too bad. So for the purposes of this wash and to deal with any upcoming weather, I actually have I've closed off the rear windows. Give me a second to grab the camera and I will show you what I did. So as you can see, I have this window covered over here with this corrugated plastic material. This was in the van. This is what the previous owners had used at some point to cover that hole up. You can, if you look closely, you can see the scum from the old duct tape. So that's basically what I just did. I just taped it back on. And on the other side, I did the same thing actually with a piece of plexiglass. Once again, it is their plexiglass that they left inside the van. And once again, I have no history as to why these windows were punched out. Except, you know, maybe at some point somebody was using this as a parts bust and they needed rear windows. This trail of oil you see right here is from yesterday. I actually threw some lubrication on the slider door hinge roller there, and I was able to get the slider door to open up somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of the way. But more or less, I'm just doing a really rough cleaning tonight. I'm not too concerned about moisture getting in, and even this is only temporary. I have ordered brand new windows and seals for the rear. At some point, I'm probably also going to do the side windows, because this seal here, I don't know if it's keeping out water, but if it is, it probably won't for too much longer. I mean, that is dry. The seals on my van may be original, the side window seals. I know the front ones aren't. I actually just redid all the seals on the front windows myself a couple of weeks ago. But the rest of the seals on my van actually are in really good shape. So these aren't. I suspect that before the project's done, I'm gonna go over all of them. On a lot of them, it looks like somebody has taped over. I'm guessing this is probably electrical tape to cover over the old fake chrome trim. I'm guessing that it just got ugly and they taped it off just for aesthetics, because I can't see how this would improve the seal. I guess I'm going to find out after pressure washing how watertight these seals are, but you know, I'm really not counting on them sealing very well at this point. When the time comes, I may have a professional replace the windshield seal and the rear window seal, but the side ones I'll do myself. So I just don't know if it's going to be any more difficult. So I'm going to get started now and spray it down with degreaser and then start pressure washing. Okay, well I sprayed the whole thing down top to bottom with degreaser, which explains these orange gloves here. Even with a scrubber, I really couldn't get much of the stuff on the roof to budge, so I abandoned that pretty quickly. But I think the stuff on the roof is baked on harder than on the sides, because I don't know how much of this you can see here, but now that it's soaked a little while, I dragged my finger through it, and it is cutting through the grime. So I guarantee the degreaser is doing something. So what I'm going to do first is actually I'm going to get on my step ladder and pressure wash off the roof, which you won't really be able to see. So I'm going to pause the video, but when I get to the sides here, that's when I will. That's when I'll turn the camera back on, and I'll show you a little bit of that. I'm not going to show you the whole thing end to end. Okay, well, I've only been going at that for a minute, and it is not going well. I have barely made a dent in the grime on the roof, and even at full pressure on the pressure washer, it is having a hard time touching the stuff on top. I'm not sure if the flat roof baking in the sun has made a difference to how hard the grit is gripping onto the van, but we'll see. I'm going to spray this down with the other stuff, let it soak a little while, and then I will continue on with the sides, front, and back. Okay, so I'm not sure how much you can see on camera, but yeah, this really is working, getting a lot of dirt off. As I suspected, this is, I think I'm looking at a fairly poor quality repaint here, because at least on the front, the pressure washer is just digging through the red paint. And, you know, I'm not disappointed because the red paint, the white underneath it is already showing through a bit. And really it needed some kind of touch up anyway, so not really surprised there. Didn't really seem to be doing it on the driver's door, and that's about as far as I've gotten so far. I did notice a little bit of water getting into the van. Once again, not at all surprised by that, so I'm going to continue on now. Once again, this is not meant to be like I said, this is not meant to be a detailing. This is really get the bulk of the grime off it if I can. So one, it's a little more pleasant to work on, and two, it's not a complete eyesore here in the neighborhood. So I'm going to continue cleaning up here, and I'll show you the results when I'm done. Okay, well I've been all around the van at this point except my second pass at the roof, which I'm going to do in a few minutes, but I'm losing light out here. I had to turn on the outside lights, so I wanted to show you what I have done before it gets completely dark. So the driver's side definitely came significantly cleaner than the passenger side. So definitely knocked off most of the dirt. You can still see some ground into the paint here. It's not all coming out. Definitely took some paint off the front here, but it was already fading through to a degree, so haven't really spoiled the look here. A friend of mine, who I showed pictures of, another VW nut, friend of mine, when he saw the pictures of it dirty, said, "Oh yeah, that should buff out nice." And normally I'd think there was a good chance of that, but like I said, this is a poor quality repaint. I see overspray all over the place, and clearly it's thin. Yeah, if you look closely, see if I can get up closer here. On this side, you can. I was way up close with the pressure washer, and all of this just was not coming out. I mean, yeah, I'm making a dent here with my finger, but I'm thinking like a really good scrub down might get the rest of it off. But overall, it is, it is really looking much better than it did when I saw it and when I picked it up. I mean, just backing up here, I'd say it's a solid 25-footer at this point, and it's only going to get better from here. I do want to at least get it running, driving, and stopping, and get a baseline assessment of the mechanical condition before I really throw any energy into cosmetics. So I'm gonna finish pressure washing this. Got one of the kids out here now, curious what I'm doing.
Just got one kid.
Yeah, just the one kid out here, just you. So I am gonna finish this up, and I'll bring you more of this project soon. So this is Rick with the Mercedes Diesel Guide channel. Thanks for watching.